Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Wachal, and in today's video I will be taking you through how goats can multiply in a farm without buying new ones. This is only possible if you follow the four principles I'm going to talk about. 1. Parasites and disease control. When goat farmers try to grow their herds, many think the problem is breeding, but a very big problem is often something you cannot easily see: worms and diseases. Worms live inside the goat's stomach and intestines, and they quietly steal the goat's food. So even when you feed your goats well, the worms are eating first. This makes goats thin, weak, tired, and less able to get pregnant or raise strong kids. Some worms also cause anemia, which means the goat has low blood. You can check this by gently pulling down the eyelid. If it is pale instead of pink or red, the goat may have worms. Parasites also make goats have diarrhea, bottle jaw under the chin, rough hair, and slow growth. So even before thinking about breeding, you must make sure the goats are free from heavy worm loads. Do not just give dewormer medicine all the time for no reason, because worms can become resistant, meaning the medicine stops working. Instead, use planned deworming and talk to a vet or livestock officer if possible. A good way to reduce worms is to rotate grazing areas so goats do not keep eating grass from the same dirty spot. Try not to let goats graze too close to the ground because worm eggs are near the soil. Also keep the sleeping area clean and dry because dirty, wet ground helps disease spread. Fresh bedding, clean water, and regular cleaning make a big difference. Another problem is sickness from bacteria and viruses. Sick goats do not eat well, and weak goats do not breed well. So, vaccinate when needed in your area. Keep new animals separate for a while before mixing them with your herd so they do not bring sickness. Watch your goats every day. If one goat looks quiet, slow, thin, coughing, limping, or not eating, act early. Early treatment saves goats and also stops disease from spreading to others. Healthy goats look happy, chew cud, move around, and have shiny coats. If your goats are always fighting worms or sickness, they will use all their body energy just to survive, not to make babies. But when goats are clean, strong, and parasite free, they get pregnant easier, give birth safely, and raise stronger kids. That is how you grow your herd without buying more goats, by protecting the goats you already have. Good housing, clean water, dry bedding, pasture rotation, correct deworming, and basic health care may look simple, but they are powerful. Strong goats mean more kids, fewer deaths, and a bigger herd over time. So remember, healthy goats multiply, sick goats don't. Take care of their health first, and the growth of your farm will follow. 2. Proper nutrition for higher quality. A poorly fed goat can be fertile on paper, but in reality it won't conceive easily, won't carry kids strongly, and even if it does, the chances of weak kids or high mortality go way up. So if you want more twins, stronger kids, and does that bounce back quickly after kidding? Nutrition is your foundation. Think about it this way: reproduction is a luxury job for the body. If the animal is just barely surviving, the body doesn't prioritize making babies. The first thing to focus on is consistent, good quality roughage like pasture, browse, or hay. Goats are browsers, not lawn mowers, so they thrive on shrubs, leaves, and mixed forage, not just short grass. If your goats are picking through dry, dusty, stemmy hay, their body condition will drop and you'll notice fewer heats, more missed pregnancies, and weaker kids. Next is minerals. A lot of farmers underestimate minerals, but they are honestly one of the biggest fertility boosters you can use. Provide a free choice mineral block or loose minerals made specifically for goats and keep it available all the time. Minerals such as selenium, copper, and zinc play huge roles in heat cycles, sperm quality, immunity, and milk production. In deficient areas, does fail to come into heat regularly, bucks have low fertility, and kids are born weak or die early. If you're in a known selenium deficient area, talk to a local vet or extension worker about supplements, because too much can be as bad as too little, and goats are sensitive animals. Clean water is another thing people ignore until there's a problem. A goat that wouldn't drink because the bucket is dirty is also a goat that won't eat properly, won't produce milk well, and won't breed efficiently. Always make sure there is fresh, clean water because dehydration quietly kills fertility. Now let's talk about something called flushing. This is a traditional and very effective method to increase the number of eggs released by the doe, which means a better chance of twins or triplets. Flushing basically means you increase the plane of nutrition 4 to 6 weeks before breeding. Not stuffing them, not making them fat, but giving slightly better feed than usual. You can do this by providing better pasture, a little extra grain, legume hay like lucerne, alfalfa, or high quality browse. When the body senses extra energy and protein, it responds by improving ovulation rates. This is why some farmers consistently get more twins, while others only get singles, and yet same goats but different feeding. But be careful not to overfeed grain or rich feed to the point that your goats become obese, because overweight goats actually have more kidding problems and reduced fertility. What you are aiming for is good body condition, not fat and not skinny. You should be able to feel but not sharply see the ribs, and the goat should look strong and alert rather than hollow or pot bellied. Another big factor is parasite and disease pressure, which is deeply connected to nutrition. Worms steal nutrients directly from the goat and damage the gut, so even if you think you're feeding well, the animal isn't actually absorbing what it needs. Goats burdened with parasites look dull, lose weight, stop cycling, have miscarriages, or produce weak kids. So, nutrition doesn't just mean what goes in, it also means making sure it can be used. Work with a strategic deworming plan, rotate pastures, and check eyelids using FAMACHA scoring where appropriate instead of blindly dosing constantly because resistance is real. Also, support gut health with roughage and avoid sudden feed changes that upset the rumen. Healthy rumen equals healthy goat equals successful breeding. Don't forget protein either. Pregnant and lactating does need more than dry grass can provide. Legume hay, oilseed cakes, quality pellets, or well-balanced homemade rations can make a huge difference. During late pregnancy and early lactation, does are under enormous physical stress. If their nutrition drops, their body will basically say no more kids for now until it recovers. When they're well fed, they come back into heat normally, raise kids better, and maintain condition. Also, remember that every farm is different. Your climate, pasture quality, soil minerals, and breed all play a role. Watch your goats. Are they shiny, bright eyed, active, chewing cud, or are they rough coated, thin, and slow? Your goats will tell you more than any textbook. If you want your herd to multiply without buying new animals, focus less on how often you breed and more on how healthy and well nourished your animals are before, during, and after breeding. Good feed and minerals may not look dramatic like buying a new goat, but they quietly produce something much better. Stronger kids, fewer losses, bigger litters, and does that breed back reliably year after year? That's how your herd grows from the inside out, using exactly what you already have, just managed better. 3. Improve buck management. When you want your goat farm to grow without buying new goats, you must remember one big truth. Your buck is the most powerful animal on your farm. He is not just another goat, he is half of every baby that is born. That means if your buck is strong, healthy, calm, and comes from good mothers that often have twins, then your kids will also be strong and your herd will grow faster. But if your buck is weak, always sick, badly shaped, or has poor genetics, then your herd will slowly become weaker every year, even if you feed them well. So, the first smart step is choosing the right buck. Look for a strong body with a wide chest, straight legs, a good back, bright eyes, and a healthy coat. The buck should walk confidently, not limp or shake. He should not be extremely wild or aggressive because temperament also passes to the kids. If possible, choose a buck whose mother and sisters often give birth to twins or triplets because that fertility can pass to his daughters too. Now, once you have a good buck, you must also take care of him. A breeding buck works very hard during mating season. If he is thin or full of worms, he will not make many does pregnant. Feed him good hay or browse, some extra protein when needed, and always provide goat minerals and clean water. Watch his weight, not too fat, not too thin. Deworm him when necessary and keep his living area clean and dry to avoid sickness. Remember, a healthy buck means a healthy herd. Also, do not overwork your buck. One strong buck can serve around 20 to 30 does in a season, but if you let him breed too many at once, he may lose a lot of weight and become weak. Give him rest time and good feeding before and after breeding season so he can recover. Very young bucks should not breed too early because their bodies are still growing, and this can harm their health and reduce their future strength. Another important thing is avoiding inbreeding. Do not breed daughters with their father or sisters with brothers because this causes weak kids, birth problems, deformities, and sickness in the future. If your herd becomes closely related, you may see goats getting smaller and weaker without understanding why. One simple solution is to swap bucks with another trusted farmer after a few years or bring in a new bloodline when needed, but do it carefully to avoid disease. Always keep records. Write down which buck bred, which doe, and how many kids were born. If most kids from one buck are strong, healthy, and many are twins, then that buck is helping your herd. But if kids from a certain buck are weak or often die, it may be better to stop using him for breeding. Treat your buck like your most valuable worker. Give him shade in the heat, shelter in the rain, and space to move. Never tie him all day on a short rope because he needs exercise to stay strong. Handle him calmly and confidently so he respects you. A stressed buck is harder to manage and may not breed well. And remember, your buck's influence lasts many years. His daughters and sons will continue his bloodline long after he is gone. So every breeding choice you make today is shaping the future of your farm. So if you want more goats without buying new ones, start with this simple plan. Choose a strong buck, feed him well, protect his health, avoid inbreeding, and track your results. A good buck is like a good investment. He quietly makes your herd better, bigger, and stronger year after year. Take care of your buck, and he will take care of your farm's future. 4. Right breeding age and timing. When you want your goat herd to grow, it is very important to understand the right age and timing for breeding. Many farmers think that as soon as a young goat looks big on the outside, she is ready to have babies. But inside her body may still be growing, and forcing her to breed too early can cause big problems. A young doe that is bred too soon may stop growing, become weak, or have trouble giving birth because her bones and muscles are not fully developed. Some young goats even die from difficult births, so instead of rushing, it is better to wait until the doe is strong and healthy. A good rule is that she should reach about 60 to 70% of her adult weight and have a well built body before breeding. She should not look skinny, tired, or stressed. When she looks mature, calm, and healthy, she is much more likely to have a safe pregnancy and strong kids. The buck also needs to be old enough before breeding. Some young bucks try to mate very early, but that doesn't mean they should. If a buck breeds too soon, his body may still be developing, and the stress can slow his growth and weaken him. A mature buck will have more strength, better fertility, and healthier offspring. So, just like with does, patience is important. Taking your time now protects your animals later. Now, let's talk about timing. Goats come into heat every 18 to 21 days. This is the period when a doe is ready to be bred. During heat, she may cry loudly, wag her tail a lot, go near the buck, lose appetite, or act restless. Some goats even mount other goats. These are all signs that she is ready. If you miss this heat cycle, don't panic. Another one will come soon. But if you watch closely, you can plan better and avoid stress. In many parts of the world, goats breed more easily during cooler months. In warm or tropical places, many goats breed all year, but success still depends on weather and feed. You should always think ahead to when the kids will be born. The pregnancy period for goats is about 5 months. So if you breed a doe today, count forward 5 months and think, will the weather be safe then? Will I have enough feed? Will there be a dry, warm place for newborn kids? Poor timing can cause big losses. Kids born in heavy rain, cold season, or hunger season often become sick or die early. Good planning saves lives. Another important thing is not breeding too soon after kidding. When a doe gives birth, her body works very hard. She needs energy to feed the kids and to recover from pregnancy. If you breed her again too quickly, she may get worn out, lose weight, and have weak kids the next time. A tired body does not make healthy babies, so always check body condition. A doe ready for breeding should look bright-eyed, active, shiny-coated, and well-fleshed. If she looks thin, bony, sick, coughing, or weak, give her rest and care first. Feeding also affects timing. A well fed goat will come into heat more often and have stronger kids. A poorly fed goat may not cycle at all. So, if your goats are not showing heat, sometimes the problem is nutrition, not fertility. It is also helpful to avoid breeding very old or sick goats. Older goats may still get pregnant, but the risk of problems is higher. Focus on your healthiest animals so your herd improves with every generation. One more smart habit is keeping simple records. Write down the date you bred the doe, the buck used, the kidding date, number of kids born. This helps you learn your herd's pattern. Over time, you will know which goats are good mothers, which ones kid easily, and which ones give twins more often. You will also avoid guessing and confusion. Good breeding timing is really just good planning. When you wait for the right age, choose the right season, and only breed healthy animals, you save yourself stress, money, and heartbreak. You protect your goats, and your herd grows naturally and safely. Fast breeding is not smart breeding. Slow, careful, thoughtful breeding is what builds a strong farm for the future. And remember this simple idea: healthy goats plus right timing equals more kids and fewer problems. If you take care of the doe before pregnancy, during pregnancy, and after kidding, she will take care of your herd growth for you. We also have other tips like selective breeding, reduce kid mortality, year round breeding strategy, cross breeding for productivity, keep records like a pro, avoid inbreeding. Comment with the tip you want us to talk about, and we shall do it. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video useful, you can like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos.